I thought that I had seen everything with Cardano until a simple meme coin demo left me a bit speechless. Now, it started as a tiny experiment, but it just unlocked a big secret about Cardano's future. And when Charles Hoskinson himself says, "This is very big for Cardano," then you know that something serious is going on. Now, trust me here, by the end of this story, you're going to understand why a throwaway token and an old HTTP code have me more excited about Cardano than any price pump ever could. Now, if you're new here, my name is Nick, and I want to take you on a pretty wild crypto adventure that I've been on this week. Now, one that involves AI agents paying each other, a meme coin with no real value at all, and even a way that I'm using smartphones to earn more crypto on the side. All this sounds rather crazy when I say it out loud, right? But it began when I stumbled on an X post from a Cardano developer bragging about something called X402. At first, I'm like, okay, what the heck is X402 and why should I even care? Then I see Coinbase is involved, Google is involved, and Hoskinson is hyping it up. Now, my curiosity went through the roof, so I did what any Cardano geek would do. I dug in and tried it out for myself. Little did I know, though, that I was about to mint the most mind-blowing meme coin ever. Not because of the coin itself, no, but because of what it actually proved. And in the process here, I might have seen a glimpse of Cardano's future. So I grab a snack, right? Because this story is going, at least about to connect some pretty wild dots in crypto, AI, and making the most of your ADA. And stick around because I'm going to share some new passive income experiments I'm working on as well that started with something called Unity. It's kind of like mining crypto on your phone, and this ties perfectly into this particular story. So picture this then, right? I'm bleary-eyed in the morning, scrolling through crypto news, and I see Patrick, right, a well-known Cardano dev, announcing the first ever X402 proof of concept meme coin minted on Cardano. Now, my initial reaction was, great, just another meme coin. We don't need more of that. Just what we need, right? But then I noticed how they did it. They used this mysterious X402 protocol, which I remembered was something Coinbase developed. Now, it's kind of based on the old HTTP 402 error code, you know, the one that says payment required. And that almost, I guess, no website ever really uses it, right? Now, Coinbase basically took that unused web code and said, let's make it do something. Now, you can fast forward, and now X402 is an open protocol that lets you pay for web resources or APIs seamlessly, without any signups or nonsense. And get this, Google has backed it into, or at least baked it, I should say, into their agent payments protocol, the AP2, for AI services. Right? In plain English here, X402, it lets machines pay machines over the web. Now, instantly, and of course, securely. There's no humans needed here. Now, it's kind of like the internet finally got a built-in wallet. And as soon as I realized that, the light bulb went on. I decided I had to try this out, right? They had a demo site running on Cardano's testnet. So I went there. The page basically says 402 payment required. Yep. The website itself was asking me for a tiny crypto payment to proceed. This wasn't some paywall with a credit card form, no, it was actually baked into the web request. So I connect my Cardano wallet, NAMI, if you're curious, and it prompts me to send 2 USDMs, right? That's 2 US dollar mixture, a Cardano stablecoin pegged to 2 USD, right? Plus a little sprinkle, if you will, of ADA for network fees. Right now, we're talking microtransaction here, right? Just a couple of bucks. Now I hit send, and within seconds the page unlocks, and boom, I now have access. And as a reward, the demo automatically mints me this silly little meme coin, right? Well, we'll call it demo coin, right, for now. Now, Let me emphasize this. Demo coin is absolutely worthless. No utility, no liquidity, no future plans at all. This is why I don't talk about meme coins, because they're absolute garbage and they aren't helping anyone. The only people that they help are the 0.01% of people who actually extract all the liquidity. So don't buy a meme coin. They're not good for you. Anyway, they wanted everyone, this warned everyone that this is just for demonstration here. This is not an investment. Don't go and think you're going to mint a load of demo coin and it's going to be worth something. I mean, maybe it will in one day, but ultimately 99.9% of people will lose. It's not an investment. But the point is that I just paid a web page directly with crypto, and then I got a digital goodie, if you will, or baddie in return. And it was all in one very smooth click. There was no account needed. There was no email needed, no captcha needed to prove that I am human. My ADA wallet was just my login, my payment method, and my proof of access all at once. Now, this wasn't a typical kind of crypto transaction. It felt like I just got a glimpse into the future of how machines might do business with each other. So standing there, okay, I was sitting, but I did sit up a little bit straighter, if you will. It hit me that why Charles Hoskinson tweeted that this is very big for Cardano, because Cardano just showed that it can do native web micropayments for anonymous services. Now let's just think about that. AI agents, the Internet of Things devices, algorithms, whatever you want to call them, they could use Cardano to pay each other with tiny amounts for data or for services on the fly. Right? Cardano could become the financial backbone of the AI agent economy. Now, I know, it sounds like a buzzwordy thing, but here is the metaphor. Imagine your smart fridge is a little AI agent, and it needs more receipt or recipe data, I guess, or maybe it wants to order some groceries for you. With something like the 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋 on Cardano, your fridge AI could automatically pay a few cents to an API for that information, or pay the grocery ordering service, machine to machine. No middleman, no monthly subscription, just a pure use payments, right? And it's all verifiable on chain. We're basically talking about machine micro-commerce. And an AI really is the next internet, right? Or at least if AI really is the next internet, and everyone is saying that it is, then it will need to be a way for bots to transact value, right? Now, Coinbase and even Binance are onto this too. In fact, Binance's wallet has an 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋 section now for finding services and tokens that use it, right? So this isn't just some random Cardano community thing, no. But Cardano implementing it really early means that our favorite blockchain might actually grab a lead in this particular niche. Okay, so let me just break this down a little bit more, right? Because I do need to explain this, and maybe I have to explain it to like if you were a friend, right? And it really did help if I were to break it down a little simpler, because 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋 is named after that HTTP 402 code, right? Which was meant for payments, but sat unused for decades. Now, thanks to this, whenever a web service wants to charge a fee, it can simply just rely on the 402 payment required and specify a crypto address or a mechanism. The user or the AI agent automatically pays to that address, and then the service is provided. There's no sign up, there's no OAuth, there's no API keys. This is just a payment equals access granted. Now, I know, in essence, the 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋 turns the web into a pay-per-use marketplace, as one article put it. But that's actually a fundamental shift from the subscription model or ad-driven model that we're actually used to, right? At the moment, we're paying with our data, but that's not a good idea. So it's more like putting a few coins into an arcade machine for each play, but for the internet. And Cardano is positioning itself to handle those payments and the trust layer behind them, because it's not just payments, is it? It's actually a Masumi platform on Cardano. It adds things like identity, refunds, logging, and these AI transactions have a bit of a safety net. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is cool tech, but how does it affect me as an ADA holder? Fair question. It's a fair question in the sense of, in the short term, it's not actually likely to do much to ADA's price, and it's not going to explode tomorrow because AI agents are going to be paying each other now. No, right? I'm not here to hype up you guys thinking that Skynet is about to pump your bags. I don't think so. But in the longer run, the real usage would matter because Cardano becomes the rails for a new kind of economy. And even if it is small at first, that means transaction volume, fees being used, and the overall relevance in the world beyond just DeFi and NFTs. And relevance can translate to resilience and to growth. Plus, this is exactly the kind of thing that critics say Cardano doesn't have, cutting-edge use cases. Well, here we are, Cardano doing something pretty bleeding edge in blockchain. And as an ADA investor, and lover of course, that makes me rather optimistic. Now, 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋 is just one piece of this puzzle. Right, Cardano's been quietly building in other areas too. Did you hear about Ouroboros Leios? Now, if you haven't, it's actually a pretty fancy name for a major Cardano consensus upgrade aimed at super scaling the network. Now, the devs recently moved it from research to actual engineering, meaning that it's going from theory to reality. Now, Leios could massively boost Cardano's throughput, which, guess what? Would be super handy if we're going to have zillions of little tiny AI transactions flying around. And on the adoption front, Cardano ADA just got included in the new grayscale CoinDesk Crypto 5 ETF, which launched on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, ADA is literally one of the top 5 crypto ETFs holds, right? Alongside Bitcoin, Ether, XRP, and Solana. That means that big investors can now get exposure to ADA as a part of a basket. And it's recognized, or at least the recognition is that ADA is a major player in the crypto space. So while we're kind of geeking out about the tech here, Wall Street is actually finally acknowledging Cardano too. So it's kind of cool, right? Now, let me just switch gears for a moment because on this channel, I'm all about making your crypto work for you and for me. Now, this whole 𝗗𝗶𝘀𝗰𝗋 thing, it got me thinking about new ways to earn crypto and support networks. And I realized that I haven't updated you all on something that I've been experimenting with for at least 24 hours. I know, inside joke. But we're going to be talking about Unity nodes here. So if you are a regular viewer and a regular here, then you've probably heard me mention Unity a fair few times at this point. But if not, then here's a quick rundown for you of anyone who is new. Unity is just a way for turning your smartphone into a part of a global telecoms network, and you get paid for helping out. Now, no, really you do. It sounds like sci-fi. You just install an app on your smartphone, and you can make these verification calls to verify the telecoms network coverage and the integrity of the network. And by doing so, you're actually providing a service. But don't worry, it's all automatic. You're not actually manually making calls. It's all running in the background. Basically, it's just auditing the cell networks, and you get to earn some crypto rewards in return. It's kind of like mining, but instead of crunching numbers or math problems, your phone is actually just checking the cell signals and making sure it's working as it should. And yes, it's totally legit. It is tied into World Mobile, if you're familiar, and Minutes Network, which are big in the Cardano ecosystem. At least World Mobile is a Minutes Network, which is a sister company to World Mobile. Now, every time that your phone makes one of these verification calls through the Unity app, it logs the data on the blockchain, World Mobile chain to be exact, and it helps carry identifying issues, etc. In return, you get the reward. Now, here is the part that I truly love. The rewards you earn can be paid out in a whole bunch of different cryptocurrencies, and of course, I chose to stack more Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, and XRP with mine. They also recently partnered up with Polkadot and added DOT, so maybe I'll add some of that too. Now, those are some of my long-term picks, of course. Unity literally lets you withdraw your rewards in popular cryptocurrencies just like ADA. And if I did take my ADA, I'll put it into a stake pool and earn more passively, that way compounding that down. So for me, it's a great way to passively accumulate a bit more of these coins over time. Now, I went ahead and I did buy a Unity Node NFT a little while back. It wasn't necessarily the cheapest thing, it was around $5,000, but it did include some stake tokens, World Mobile tokens, and Minutes tokens, and 200 licenses. And, those 200 licenses are represented as NFTs. So what is a license? Well, think of it as a slot for your smartphone, right? Now, with one Unity node, I can basically connect up to 200 smartphones hooked up into the network. Now, I'm not going to run 200 phones in my house here. No, I'm just imagining the electric bill or just the health issues with that. No, my plan is to start small, right? Once the Unity app goes live, I'm going to kick things off with the 10 phones that you see over here. Iron out any potential kinks, measure the rewards, see if it is as promised. And if, things work out nicely, then I'm going to scale it up, maybe 20, 50 in different geographical locations, because I have a feeling that having them in lots of different places around the vicinity is probably better than having them all concentrated in one spot. Who knows for sure, right? More details will probably come out in due course. Now, I am going to scale this if it is successful, right? And I can handle all the logistics, of course. You might be thinking, why on earth am I doing all of this? Well, it's because it's a win-win concept here. I might strengthen a decentralized telecoms network and I get paid in crypto for it. It's kind of like staking, but with smartphones. Speaking of which, the rewards that I get, I'm thinking, of them as a kind of crypto staking 2.0. I earn them by doing some work here with smartphones, and then I can stake those ADA or hold on to the Bitcoin or ETH longer term. Passive income feeding passive income, right? Compound my ADA. If I earn it passively, throw it into a stake pool to earn even more passively, you kind of get the idea. You see the strategy. Now, of course, results may vary, and this is all experimental, which brings me to how this might just shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, and you could lose all of the money that you invest. You should always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. After all, your investments are entirely your responsibility, and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses, and this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Phew, I'm glad I got that out of the way. Seriously though, you should do your own research, especially on something like Unity. In fact, I'll drop some links in the description below to Unity's light paper and their rewards calculator. Now, if this concept intrigues you, you should probably read up on it and crunch the numbers. It might not be for everyone, and it might not be everyone's cup of tea, as the old British would say. Anyway, I've kind of talked about Unity in many videos by now, so I won't spend ages on it here. Just wanted to kind of give you an update how I'm doubling down, because I even snagged a second and third Unity node NFTs, specifically so that I can lease licenses out to some of the community members, right? Not everyone can or even wants to drop, $5,000 on a full node. And I kind of get that, because you're going to want to have a proper operation where you spread devices out. Maybe you only have 10 per location, maybe 20 if it push it. So maybe you don't want 200 licenses, maybe you only want 10 or 20. So leasing a license could give you a way to participate with a single phone, or 10 phones or 20 phones rather than 200 devices. Now, we're still working out a lot of the details, but we've got some information down in our free educational Discord server. Yes, there's a link down in the description for that. More details will be available there. Now, at the moment, we are thinking 90% of the rewards would go to the operator, the person who is basically using the mobile devices, and 10% would support the channel here. So a 90-10 split. But of course, it does depend on Unity and any potential limits that they put on that. They might have minimum thresholds for earning on either side of the argument, i.e. the leaser or the NFT holder. So, more details will be in the Discord once the Unity app goes live, which should hopefully be just around the corner. So anyway, if you are interested in essentially renting or leasing one of these Unity nodes from me, from this channel here, then, you can check out the Discord server and stay tuned for all the details there. It's a pretty cool way that I can kind of support you guys by getting involved in earning passively, while also helping out Unity with decentralizing this much further than just myself, and also help you guys participate in something that is cutting edge. Now, let's try all of this back to Cardano and the much bigger picture, because I find it a little poetic here that I'm here kind of talking about phones verifying networks and AI agents paying each other. And it all kind of points to one very critical thing, right? Making technology work for you and making your crypto work for you. Now, Cardano is proving that its technology can work for the future of the web. And I'm out here proving that my assets can work for me too. Now, I'm, at least in both cases, right? I'm about to, at least not letting things kind of sit idle here, right? I'm actually sitting my ADA, or my ADA sitting in my wallet doing nothing is not a good idea. I want to put it to work, which reminds me that I cannot not mention a double negative. I hate those, by the way. that if you hold ADA and you're not staking it, then you are missing out on some free money here, right? Okay, maybe it's not free money in that sense because that doesn't really exist. Nothing is ever free. But staking doesn't cost you anything and your ADA never leaves your control. Now, I do run a Cardano stake pool and the ticker is 𝗗𝗍, CHEEK. And it's one of the best ways to support the network and earn yourself some more ADA at the same time. Now, instead of just waiting for ADA's price to, hopefully, moon, you could actually be earning a yield on it every 5 days. That's how Cardano epochs work, by the way. Now, if you haven't staked yet, you should definitely consider it. It's whether it's with my own pool or someone else's, right? But if you want to support the channel here and, everything that we're doing here, moving your delegation to the 𝗗𝗍 pool actually really does help. Seriously, the rewards from staking pool operations actually go a long way in letting me spend more time making these videos for you guys and doing some crazy experiments like Unity nodes for all of us to kind of learn from. And don't worry, staking does not lock up your ADA. It is actually truly liquid. You can undelegate it at any time. There's no downside except maybe 2 minutes of your time to set it up. And if you're already staking into another pool, but maybe enjoying my content here, I would be honored if you would switch over. It's kind of like Patreon, but you actually make money from it too, if you get the drift. All right, another public service announcement. I know. We're getting there though, I promise. Because this is very important. I do want you all to be very safe and savvy out there. So one of the lessons that I've learned over many years in this space, always have a plan B and a plan C in crypto, especially applies to crypto exchanges. Remember 2022 and FTX. We don't want a repeat of those situations. So we've seen exchanges suddenly halting withdrawals. They go down for maintenance, like Coinbase did just a few days ago. Or at worst times, they even go bust like FTX. Now, the last thing that you want is to be stuck thinking, if only I had another account ready, I could still trade or cash out. So what I do is maintain accounts on multiple exchanges. I go through the KYC and the verification on all of them early on, even if I'm not going to use them regularly, just so that they're ready as a backup. So if exchange A freezes up, I've got exchange B and exchange C ready to go. For example, I've signed up on platforms like Binance, Coinbase, Blowfin, BitGet, LBank, and a whole bunch of others that I trust. In the description, of course, I have a link to my website, which lists all of the exchanges that I personally use. And those links on my website, those are affiliate links that support the channel here, meaning that if you do use them, sign up and trade on them, it helps support the channel at no extra cost to yourselves, of course. It's basically a way for those companies to say thank you for me to care for connecting you to them, right? Now, if you're going to sign up anyway, using my link is just a great way to give a little love back to the channel here. That's a transparency check though, right? Because all of the exchanges that I do use, I do have affiliate links for them. Now I can get an affiliate link for any exchange that I want, but on my website, I'm only listing the ones that I do genuinely use. They are solid exchanges in my experience. And any mention of any of them is accompanied by that disclaimer that I am using affiliate links that support the channel here. Why? Because the FTC, they want us to be really clear on that with you guys. And they want to be clear with you that ultimately, if you use those links, then we are, of course, earning a small commission from the actual exchange. There's no shady business here, and it's just to be really super clear with everyone. I would never promote an exchange that I do not genuinely use or trust myself. The crypto landscape is pretty dicey enough as it is. You need at least someone to have your back, right? Now, I'm not about to send you to some sketchy platform just to make a quick buck on my end. I'm not about that. I'm not going to do that. My reputation, the brand that we are building here at 𝗗𝗍 Crypto, means way more than a quick buck from a crypto exchange. We turn down 99% of everything that comes in our inbox. And we can't really even keep up with the tens of thousands of emails that are flooding in there. But you get the idea. I'm using reputable exchanges and exchanges that I trust, have met, have gone to their office, and have discussed everything with them in detail. So if you do check out those links, if you are expanding your crypto arsenal, make sure that you're always going to have a plan B, whether it's using one of my exchange links, my affiliate links or not. Have a plan A, plan B, plan C. You kind of get the idea. Now, What a time to be in crypto, right? We went from talking about meme coins on Cardano, which is just absolute nonsense to me, but anyway, to envisioning a future where AI and blockchain kind of converge together. And even our phones and our coins can team up to make more coins together. This is kind of why I love this space so much, right? It's never just one thing, is it? Right? Finance, technology, community, personal empowerment, right? Be your own bank, as they say, right? They all kind of intersect together. Like Cardano, right? Often mocked for being slow, is now at the cutting edge of something totally new, right? The fact that an experimental token demo can light up a path towards Cardano being an AI economy backbone is rather beautiful in itself. It shows that sometimes revolutions start quietly, like a whisper on a testnet, and before you know it, they reshape entire industries. Now, it reminds me of how small early internet experiments led to the world that we actually have today. For me personally, this is validation, right? I've been bullish on Cardano, not just because ADA, yeah, I do enjoy stacking more ADA, but it's actually because of the community and the vision that's behind it. It's about building a decentralized future step by step, right? And whether it's running a stake pool, testing out Unity nodes, or demonstrating protocols like X402, I'm here for it. It's an adventure every single day, and I'm glad to have you all on this journey and on this ride with me. Now, if you have found this story as fascinating as I did, you can do me a favor too, by hitting that like button and the subscribe button so you can join us in the next adventure. And don't forget to join our community too, our free Discord, right? I've got a feeling that this journey is only really going to get wilder from here, and trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.